Hello and welcome to my stream today. My name is Jason, also known as Dragonovan, and today I'm doing something a bit different, as this will probably be my last shiny hunting stream for a while. I've got 3 Journey Together booster packs, and I'm going to be doing shiny hunts based on them. So it's a bit different as I'm running out of things to shiny hunt for. So after last week I got the shiny 3-segment Dunsparce. And with that, I only need 2 more Pokemon from Scarlet and Violet, and most of the other Pokemon that I need, my shiny living decks, are going to take a while to find, so they're going to be not that great for shiny hunting on stream. So I'll be taking a break from streaming those for the time being and concentrating on my Xenoblade Chronicles playthrough, trying to get that done before the Switch 2 releases, as I'll be hopefully getting one of those on release. So fingers crossed. But until then, I'm hoping to get that completed, ideally, before the Switch 2 comes out, so I can focus on the Switch 2. But anyway, so I've got these 3 packs, which you should be able to see on screen. So I don't have a camera set up to do this, so I'll be taking photos as I go. So please bear with me as I get that sorted. But let's see what we do to start with. Let's go with the... is that Lily and Clefairy? So I'll be reading all the cards out as I go and then photographing them when I'm done. So I'll be trying to find 1 shiny from each pack to start with. Got about 2 hours to do this shiny hunt. So 2 hours, 3 packs, 3 shinies ideally. So 4 sandwiches. So let's see what we got. Oh, that's not a bad one to start with. So it's got I can't remember what form, an Oricorio, the ghost type, is it? The Puao or something like that? Ends Purloin. Not entirely sure if I can search shiny hunt for that. Professor's Research. That's not one I can really shiny hunt for. Lily's Cutie Fly. Possible, but that's a hard one to spot. Grimmsnarl with evolutions. I may go for pre-evolved forms and just go from there. But just evolve them up to get the forms. But Grimmsnarl is a possibility. Ends PP up, that's not something you can search for. Pelipper, I can't actually remember if they're in the game, but there's so many Pokemon in the game, I lose track of what is and isn't. But I might be able to shiny hunt for that. Hops Rookie D, that's a foil. That I could shiny hunt for, so I've caught so many Rookie D, that's probably a no-brainer. Remoraid, I'm not sure if it's in this, I know it's in Legends Arceus, but probably won't be shiny hunting on there. And my rare is Ends Reshiram, so won't be able to shiny hunt for that, but right, let me lay these out. I can actually see what I'm working with, so take out the trainers, no point in them. So I've got 8 options here, so probably not 8, but I'll just quickly take a photo of those, so I can put that on screen as I go. So I'm thinking of going with Oricorio, because I think that's a bit of an interesting one to do, and it should be fairly easy to spot, I believe. But I'll check in a sec, so my photos aren't going to be the best, but it'll do. So right, I just need to send that to my computer. That's transferring over now. Okay. Could I multi-hunt any of these? Probably not. Can I actually get Purloin in this game? I'm just sort of checking through as I go. So Remoraid I'm pretty sure isn't an option. Reshiram definitely isn't. Cutie Fly I'd rather not, because I've done that before, and that's a pain in the arse to spot. Yeah, up Cerebi just to double check. And I'm spelling purloin wrong. Purloin is not in Scarlet and Violet, so that's out of the question. Pelipper. Oops, right, just lost the blooming tab. Right, Pelipper is in the game. Yeah, so I technically could go for Pelipper, but probably not the best one, and I kind of want to do Oricorio. So I'm going to see Oricorio. I've just looked in completely the wrong section on Cerebi. So it is the... Sorry, it's Sensu style Oricorio, which is in Kitakami, I believe. Isn't Kitakami? Can't remember. What's up? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. Kitakami. Right. Where is this image? So I'll swap to the next image. So there's the cards from the pack. So I think I will just go for Oricorio. So that's a bit of an interesting one. So I'll put that in the corner of the screen. And so I'm just juggling things around the room. They're not the best setup for this, but that'll have to do. There we go. Right. Wrong button. So if I go to, I believe it's around here. So I'm hoping I can isolate it. Nighttime might be an issue. Nighttime might be an issue. And it's, of course, nighttime right now. Oh, there's the Oricorio. Are there any other ghost types? If I just come here and find a shiny straight away, that would be hilarious. Where was I? So this is a nice bright blue colour I'm looking for. Go to the usual purple, but yeah, I think this will work. So I'm not seeing any other ghost types right now, so if I pop a ghost type sandwich, save first, save the ingredients if I don't get one. So I'm gonna probably use my bitter and spicy sandwich recipes here, so hopefully I've got the right ingredients. Make a sandwich. So I need 2 red onion, 1 prosciutto, red, green and yellow peppers, and then the bitter and spicy, which as you can see I've got loads of. Anyway, since last week I've got a couple more shinies for the deck, so I've got another these on the bottom. Got another Quaxley. That is really being a stubborn one to get shiny lately. I got another Quaxley for that, so I just need 1 more Quaxley, which I am slowly cracking through the eggs for. Pardon a happy coincidence. Cracking the eggs. Also got a unknown exclamation mark in Legends Arceus for my unknown alphabet, which was fortunately what I needed. So only got 8 of those left, but I think both of those put me down to 99. Is it 98 now? 98 shinies remaining for my shiny living dex. So it's looking good, and 8 unknown left that I need. So getting through them, which I'm quite happy about, but so not the best shiny hunt to do on stream, so neither's the Masuda method breeding, hence won't be doing those on stream, as just running around in circles waiting for an egg to hatch isn't that interesting. But so I will be continuing to shiny hunt off stream, so by the time Legends ZA comes out, so I might do the occasional special stream like this where I do a pack opening hunt. There we are. So the pack opening hunt probably isn't a bad idea. And I'm sticking to the pond. Dear, unfortunately the pond is... Can I just do laps of the pond? I think I can. Yeah, so I might do the odd pack opening shiny hunt stream. There's a mass outbreak, are you kidding me? You know what, I'm gonna cheat a little here. I think this will work. Try and reset the outbreaks to get rid of that. Yeah, that didn't affect the... So, Archaea are just around the pond by the looks of it, so keep around this area. But that's reset the outbreaks just quickly, just to get rid of that. Should have paid more attention to that when I started this. But, yeah, so I won't do the occasional pack shiny hunt stream like this before ZA comes out, and I'll probably update with my living dex progress then. But, so it's mostly going to be more fiddly hunts that I'll need to do. So, not the best for streaming. But, so in the meantime, until ZA does come out, I'll be playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and then getting the Switch 2, and playing probably just Mario Kart at first on that, but I will be getting other games after that, so but Mario Kart is definitely the #1 to get to start with. So I might even be able to raise some viewers, or maybe even other streamers on that, so have a bit of fun. I keep being told I probably shouldn't be spending that much money when I'm not working, but to be honest, I've made quite a bit of money selling magic cards while I've been off work, so I've actually got about £1,000 of disposable money, if you like, yeah, say, or sort of recreation money, you might call it, that I'm sort of comfortable spending on other things, like Switch 2. A lot of people are saying that it is too expensive for what it is, but it is actually in line with inflation, and compared to other things, it's quite a reasonable price. So it's just compared to the original Switch, it is quite a bit more expensive, but it's not original Switch, it's quite a bit more powerful by the sounds of it. So I'm not too fussed about the extra spend. And to be honest, the bundle with the Mario Kart, so the games as well, similar sort of thing, increased price, but I don't think they're that bad, and I think part of it is to do with trying to encourage people to go digital. But when you get the bundle, which I'm hopefully going to get, it actually saves quite a bit of money, so it makes Mario Kart World only about 35 quid, which is cheaper than I think I've got both versions of Mario Kart 8 for when they came out, which I think is a pretty good deal. So yeah, so I'll hopefully be pre-ordering that next week. So I haven't got the pre-order in yet, but I've got an email from Nintendo saying that I'll be able to pre-order directly from them. So I've been selected for a chance to pre-order from them. So I'm guessing it's a case of it's reserved until it'll be reserved for a few days, or for I think it's the day I get until the end of the day that they send me the email. So until the end of the day I'll be able to pre-order it, and I think I'll have a Switch 2 basically reserved for me until then. So that should be coming through tomorrow, so I'll be dealing with that. Hopefully getting that pre-order placed. Behind the tree. Yeah, so I'll be pre-ordering that tomorrow, hopefully. So one of my friends he didn't get the email to the email invite. I actually haven't heard from anyone else who's actually got the email from Nintendo, so it could be I've got quite lucky with that, but based on the criteria, I do meet all the criteria, and my playtime is rather high, as I have spent most of my time playing Scarlet and Violet and just Pokemon games in general. Either usually Violet or Legends Arceus. And I've been doing a lot more on streams while I've been off, so my playtime is quite high. So, not that surprising that I would have been selected if considering those other criteria, but yeah, so I'll be pre-ordering that. So I also got selected for the Nintendo Ambassador version of the 3DS, so I end up getting the 3DS like a month early when that came out, which was good as well. So it's the second time I've been selected like this, but pretty sure it's nothing to do with streaming, because I haven't been streaming for long enough and haven't got enough of an audience. So it's just my playtime. So I think it's good that they give priority to people that enjoy the games. So it's a good system they're doing there. Anyway, so yeah, I watched the direct when it was live last week, so I streamed Xenoblade afterwards, and sort of been going over what I've seen since then to sort of process everything, because there was a lot to take in. But I love the look of the Switch 2, so it's just improvements all round. A couple of things are a bit question marks at the moment, but in general it's an upgrade and it looks good. And to be honest, I think I've worn out another set of Joy-Cons, so it's probably about time I got some new ones and getting a whole new Switch. And if the Switch 2, I'm hoping the new Joy-Cons, which they're calling Joy-Con 2s rather than something more original, which fair enough, they're calling it the Switch 2, whatever. I preferred mice cons, so I will probably still refer to them as mice cons from time to time when talking about certain things. But yeah, the new Joy-Cons hopefully are going to be a bit more robust, so larger size and all that should work well. I'm a bit curious as to how the feel of the buttons is going to be, because they're apparently steel buttons on the shoulders, the inner shoulders thing. Is it SL and SR buttons? Whatever they're called. But, it's good, I think, because that's where the magnet's attached to, which, interesting way of doing it. I mean, the buttons are right there, so why not use them to attach? But I'm kind of worried about what sort of wear it's going to put on them and how sort of sturdy the magnets are actually going to be to sort of hold the whole thing in place. So I think what part of something that keeps happening with my Joy-Cons is I think I hold my Switch by one hand from time to time, and I think that puts more strain on the joint. And the occasionally the shoulder buttons will stop working. Those sort of inner sort of hidden ones just stop, and the lights on the end of the Joy-Con stop working as well. So that's happened twice now. Once on the left Joy-Con, once on the right Joy-Con. So it's not even consistent on that. So it's just something that seems to keep happening. But if you're sort of holding the Joy-Con sideways, if you're sort of playing two-player Mario Kart on, and you've not got enough sort of pairs of Joy-Cons, and you have to have one Joy-Con each, not the best. So that's a little bit of an issue. So hopefully they'll sort that with the new Joy-Cons, and control sticks seem to be a new design, so hopefully they won't suffer from the Joy-Con drift issue. So I don't think I've actually got Joy-Con drift with this Joy-Con. I think it's just there's something inside it's starting to wear out. I sometimes hear a sort of crunching sound as I move the Joy-Con, or a sort of crunching sensation. It's like, that doesn't feel good. So yeah. But yeah, so hopefully it's a good time for me to get a new one. So I got the OLED a while back, so I still have my original Switch as well. So the durability of the consoles in general is great. So as long as they keep that up, which I'm sure they will, console itself should be fine. So just Joy-Cons are the bigger issue. I'm assuming you can use all the old Joy-Cons as well for playing multiplayer and stuff, as long as it's not using the specific features of the new Joy-Cons. So I guess Mario Kart will still work with all the old ones. So I've still got my Switch Pro controller, which I actually use with my laptop more than with my Switch itself. So I assume that will still work with the Switch 2. So the new Switch 2 Pro controller, I think, is a bit pointless in comparison. It's got a couple of new features, but I don't feel the need for them. So I won't be getting that straight away. Might get it at some point, don't know. Kind of doubt I will actually get one of the new Pro controllers. But anyway, yeah, so the Direct itself, and all that was presented, I was actually quite happy at how much I predicted correctly. So my prediction to start with the date, I was predicting since the initial reveal. There were some rumours flying around that sort of agreed with me, but I'd sort of come to the conclusion myself anyhow that it would be sort of very end of May, early June release, and as we've got the 5th of June, that is smack bang in my prediction. So I was thinking early June more likely, but that was basically just based on the events they were doing, the preview events, and the fact that start of May they were ending the gold point distribution, which they haven't actually announced any sort of replacement system for that yet. So that might still be to come. Sort of the reward scheme. So they're obviously switching over to something new with the Switch 2. So I'm guessing pre-orders and stuff are going to be, or digital purchases, rewards for that and stuff, they're all going to be handled slightly differently as they're ending the gold point distribution. So they'll be most likely bringing in some sort of new system. But one thing I'm thinking of the digital services, I'm actually wondering if they're going to, because of the prices of the games and the fact they're discounting Mario Kart so much with the bundle, I'm wondering if they are going to do more deals on the Switch 2 games purchasing digitally, like as they've got it with the Switch 1. They've got the game vouchers, so you can buy 2 vouchers and potentially get 2 games at a discounted price as a result, but it does depend on the game. So it's like £84 for 2 vouchers, but some of the games are only 40 quid anyhow, so if you get 2 40 quid games, you're actually spending more, which doesn't really make sense. I think they really need to come up with a new system where it's more flexible with what games you actually purchase, rather than just having a set price for 2. So I think it might be good if you, like, every time you buy a game at full price, you get a voucher to get your next purchase at half price or something like that. I think that would work quite well. So I think that works out at sort of similar sort of saving to what the existing vouchers give, but I think that would just be a bit more flexible, so you could still save money on some of the cheaper titles rather than being stuck, only being able to really getting your money's worth off the more expensive ones. So especially when physical quite often end up being cheaper than the digital anyhow. So quite often you'd get like a 50 quid physical game, or digital game, would be physical for 40 quid. So at that point you might as well still just get the physical copy. If you're spending what would essentially be 42 quid, £42 for a digital copy, it's still cheaper to get a physical, even with the voucher deal. So it's like, yeah. Excuse me. Halfway through so far. But yeah, so I think they could do with reworking that. But anyway, yeah, so got the there was the preview events. That's what I was talking about. The preview events were leading up to they're all throughout April and then early May. I think there's one in late May, which was why I was a bit uncertain if it would be late May release, but early June seemed most likely with that in mind, so got it smack bang on. So there's more Peke. I just saw something small on the edge of the water. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy how accurately I predicted that. So just sort of going by the hints that we were getting from various things. So it wasn't exactly rocket science to predict it, but a lot of people, when I'd say that, was like, "Ah, no, it's not going to be out for months. It's not going to be out until Christmas." It's like, no. So I was definitely right about that. I was hoping ZA would be out shortly after or alongside it, but fortunately that one is Christmas. It was a bit of a pain. So I would have liked another sort of big game at launch to get it. We do get the new Donkey Kong game, which I don't usually play the Donkey Kong games, but that one looks like a lot of fun. But so with my sort of predictions as well, I predicted so obviously we'd get Mario Kart as the big multiplayer game. I predicted 1 or 2 sort of tech demo based games to show off the features of the Switch 2, which we have, because we have the demo tour or whatever it is, welcome tour, of the welcome tour and the Drag X Drive games, which are both basically tech demos, sort of in that sort of release sort of window. So right about that, and I guess that they wouldn't be sort of established franchises, which smack bang again. And then I said there would be a sort of one of the sort of main series titles that would also release alongside or in the launch window, which I thought could potentially be Metroid as a sort of dual release like they've done with Zelda before now. But there were rumours of a new Mario Odyssey game, which I think those rumours ended up being this new Donkey Kong game, because it does seem almost Mario Odyssey-esque in the sort of world exploration and stuff, albeit with more destruction rather than the more acrobatic navigation that Mario has. So that was pretty much accurate in that regard, but I did also wonder if they would include Metroid alongside that in order to show off the mice cons, as I was calling them, as a more mature title. And annoyingly, we still haven't got a date for Metroid Prime yet, which is rather annoying. But we did get the confirmation of the mice cod controls, albeit in the Switch 2 edition. So I was correct about the Metroid Prime getting the Switch 2 controls, despite being a Switch title. Didn't know they were going to do it as an upgrade pack, but it is what it is. But I'll probably got more to say about the Switch 2 editions, which I'll probably come to later. Anyway, yeah, so all those sort of predictions I was actually pretty accurate with. I'm quite happy with that. So I wasn't expecting so many games to actually get the Switch 2 editions though, so that's just quite a nice surprise. So yeah. So, not sure how worth it they'll be, but so I'll sort of come back to them. What else was there? I sort of made some notes as to what when I was watching through the thing, just to sort of remember I went through everything. So there's the GameCube. One of the things that is coming to the Switch 2 is the GameCube titles, which that's fine. So nice addition. So about time they released them digitally. So doing it through the expansion pass for the online service, fine. To be honest, I started playing Nintendo home console games with the GameCube, so most of those titles that I would be interested in playing I already have. So I don't really see the need to actually get them again, because I could just crack out the original games, because I've still got my GameCube in a drawer in my room, so I could just pull that out if I wanted to, or just pull out my Wii, because you can play most GameCube games on the Wii as well. But so both options, so I've still got all the games. I didn't actually realise how much Gale of Darkness was worth, so I've still got my copy of that. But so good that some of those games are coming out. So, and the online playability of them, awesome. So I think some of them were originally designed with the potential to have online services, but they never properly released the online services on the GameCube. I think there was the port. They might have released the modem for it, but like next to nothing ended up actually getting the service. So, cause I remember there was a panel in the bottom of the GameCube could pop out, and apparently that was where you plugged in the modem or whatever, the router, whatever sort of thing you'd call it, in order to access the internet. Which, the modular expansion, not a bad idea, but when they do it and then don't end up properly using it, bit of a letdown. As far as online services go, you got the game share. So that sounds brilliant, being able to share a game from a Switch 2 to other Switch consoles for multiplayer play. But I did notice that Mario Odyssey was getting that, and I'm thinking, what multiplayer have they got for Mario Odyssey? Is that going to be, since I was saying about updates for some of these services, is that going to be multiplayer Mario Odyssey, where you can just free roam, or possibly even play through the game alongside other players? So there's sort of the online, there's sort of the multiplayer with the Cappy use, but would they go through the hassle of adding the online just for that? I mean, Cappy, that multiplayer feature isn't the best, but I have seen people, there's a whole load of people I've seen that play Mario Odyssey hide and seek, which looks like a lot of fun, but I wouldn't want to play a sort of modded version of the game for that, and it'll be a bit of a hassle, and considering how new the game is, it's... So I played the Pikmin 2 mod with the Louis Quest and Pikmin 1 version. That was more of an original creation I played it for, but just playing a modded version of the game just for that feature, I think is a bit... so I'm not the... bit reluctant to do that sort of thing. Oops. So a bit reluctant to sort of play modded games like that, especially after I actually install it on my Switch, which I don't really want to mess around installing stuff like that on my Switch. But if they actually add that feature into the game natively, that will be huge. I would love to play some Mario Odyssey hide and seek online. So fingers crossed for that. That if they do it, that would be amazing. But they haven't actually detailed what it will entail yet. So they've sort of listed it for the game share, but what exactly that entails is unclear so far. So just have to wait and see. But so the whole idea of the game share is brilliant. So being able to do it locally or online. So it's just such a good idea for certain games, at least. So if they do it for like Mario Party, that would be amazing. One of my friends had... So we don't like... If you play Mario Party, you kind of usually expect to have one copy and just have everyone round. But it's quite often hard to get together now with my old friends. So if we could play that online, that'd be great. But we wouldn't... Having to get one copy each is a pain in the arse. So quite often we end up sort of getting one copy to play when we get together, and then not end up playing it, and then each of us ends up getting a different copy, a different version of Mario Party. So when each one comes out, oh, I kind of want to play a Mario Party, I'll get the new one, and so we sort of in turn go through it, and we end up with different Mario Party games. And so one of my friends has Jamboree, I think. I've got one of the other ones on the Switch. So how many have been on the Switch already? But just sort of buying 4 copies of the same Mario Party just to play together online rather than in person. It's like not the best way of doing it. But if you can game share that with one version of the game, with one copy of the game, fantastic. So really looking forward to more details about that and sort of clarifications to what each game will be able to do in that regard. Sounds great. So really looking forward to that. What else is there? So I was saying about playing multiplayer online. The game chat. Nice that they've added it, but to be honest, I'd probably still rather use Discord. The video sharing seems, from what they showed, it looked really laggy and didn't look great quality, so it was sort of jarring to have to watch that as they were playing through it. And so I could quite easily just screen share through my laptop. As I'm recording my gameplay now, I can screen share that to my friends over Discord, and it gets a hell of a lot better quality than that with voice chat and webcams and stuff at the same time. And it's like, just seems like Discord would be better for most of it. Just the basic game chat, fine. As soon as you start adding the video chat and the game sharing and the screen sharing, that's where it starts to get a bit iffy. And the fact that it takes up so much space on the screen as a sort of basic, as the standard, I think you can reduce it or possibly even hide it completely while it's still running, but it seems a bit intrusive in that sort of thing. So, good concept, but I don't really think I'll get much use out of it, personally. So, I might do. I don't know yet, so just have to see. But, yeah, the camera as well seems ridiculously overpriced. It's like 50 quid for a camera that doesn't even look like it's that great a quality. And you could probably get one that does the same job for half that. It's like, do they actually expect people to buy that? And some of the games that they've shown, like the Jamboree getting a update to have camera-based minigames, it just looks like a gimmick, and it reminds me of like the iToy on the PlayStation, PS2 or whatever it was. And it's like, are they really sort of taking a step backwards with motion controls like that? I mean, the Wii was just better motion controls than the iToy, and yet they've gone back to basically what the iToy was doing. And it just seems... My sandwich is in. Bugger. Alright, okay, I guess I... Oh, I did stuff the outbreak. Well, I guess I redo that sandwich and try again. Unless I go for something else. Can I go for one of the others? I'm going to try 2 sandwiches on this. If I don't get it in the 2, then I'll try one of the others. Oh, actually, I might just open the next pack, so I'll need to move on to the next one. I might come back to this pack. That's a little bit annoying. Anyway, yeah, so I'm not that impressed by the cameras, and the minigames just don't seem good. It just seems like a gimmick, and it's outdated, so it's just like, don't like it. Crap, my picnic again. I might have to reset the outbreaks again. So, not going well so far, so... I think that was the right ingredients. But yeah, so game chat, not the best, but all the other features, great. Game share, fantastic. And so the GameCube games, brilliant addition. So probably not for me, but a lot of people like them. I stacked them very high, didn't I? I think I just tacked all those onions on top of one. Ooh. Careful. Yeah. I had to focus on that to make sure I didn't mess it up. Yeah, so console itself and a lot of the features sound good, look good. So the new dock having a fan built into it, that makes a lot of sense. I'm surprised the initial dock didn't have that. So when I'm running my existing Switch dock, when I pick it up, I can feel it's warm. So it could probably do with having a fan in it for the existing Switch as well. I did notice that on the US site they're selling the dock package on its own for like $110, and it's like, if they just took out the dock, that would cut the price down substantially and actually make it a lot more appealing to people. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly do the outbreaks again, because I probably should have done that already. So you just need to turn the clock back 1 minute and it resets the outbreaks, and that should be far enough away. Do I want to take a different approach? So, was it that going around in circles didn't really work? I want to try and do a sandwich reset. Well, the squabber is... here apparently, but I don't see the squabber. So, oh no, there they are. Okay, I'm going to need to reset that again. This is how I find different outbreaks when I'm trying to set up for an outbreak hunt. That looks a bit better. Do let them on to start with. Yeah, so I was wondering if they might end up doing a handheld only bundle of the Switch 2 at some point to reduce the price and make it, went straight into that, make it more appealing to people as a lower price option. So almost similar to the Switch Lite, but still being the full console package. And that would be good for sort of families that sort of share a single dock, so they wouldn't need more than one dock between a household. So they could just... there's a shiny. There we go. That's finally got the shiny. Just after starting the sandwich. No. It's ghost type. I'm going to need to damp it. Well, that's the Oricorio Court. Well, I will be catching it in a second. Soak it first so I can actually hit it with Pulse Swipe. So that's one down. Now I can Full Swipe it without a problem. Yeah, so I was wondering if they might do that as an option to get a cheaper bundle for the Switch too, which might appeal to more people. But I do find it quite funny. It's funny and stupid. All the issues that are going on in the States at the moment with the tariffs. So, last I heard, the pre-orders for the Switch 2 have been postponed because of the tariffs that Trump is bringing in. There we go. I added my shiny Rayquaza to the party, so it's leveling up now. There we go. That's the Sensu style of Oricorio. I'll save that. Yeah, these sort of tariffs are kind of stupid, but hopefully the whole thing gets sorted out and the tariffs get fixed before long. But so one good thing about being in the UK, we don't have to deal with that. So hi ho. Okay, next pack. So try to see what I want to hunt for from this one. I'll actually just pause that because I think that delays the clock, the countdown, in case I want to use the same sandwich. What have we got? We have Petalil. That's definitely an option, I think. Yeah, it should be an option. Minccino, possibly. Toadstool, that's definitely an option. Mr. Mime, not too sure about. Hop's Bag, that's not something I can hunt for. Kling Clang, don't think they're in this game. Sandaconda, technically could do. It's Hop's Sandaconda. Postwick. Iono's Wattrel, possibly. That's a hard one to spot though, so not the best idea. And a Meowscarada, which I'd need to breed for it, so that's not really an option. But got a few options here. I'm thinking Toadschool. So I do like the idea of getting another Toadschool. I just need to think of where the best place. Oh, I should be photographing these. So, unfortunately, no ghost types for me to use the same sandwich, but oh well, I'm just sort of using up the extra ingredients at the moment, so whatever. That should do it. Right, so just need to send this over to my laptop to put that on screen. So give me a sec while I do this. It should be transferring now. So yeah, I'm going to try Toadschool. So I'm hoping I can isolate it fairly well. So while that's transferring, so it is a ground and grass type. I think ground type might be the type to go for. Actually, I can swap them over. Where's the Pokedex? So Kitakami, not Kitakami, Paldea. Try and find Toadschool in here somewhere. Can never remember where it is. Trying to find it. I just want to check what locations it is available in. So, habitat. Most of the place. So, I wonder. I think I have an idea from where to go for it. Just let me pop this screenshot up. Nope. Give me a sec. I'm still getting used to putting an image on screen. Yeah, so I think that's going to be the target. So get that in the corner. Where am I looking? So I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. There might. Oops. My thoughts were up here. This area, I think ground type will work up this area, so I'm trying to work out where no other ground types will go. So grass types I think will be everywhere. So I think I need to do ground type for this, but I think this area should work. Hopefully get this one quite quick. So grass types. Ghost types, I'm getting ghost types right now. I can't remember what they look like shiny. Yeah, so getting ghost types right now, so that's also grass types. So that'd be hilarious. A shiny one of these just suddenly popped up as I was just doing this. But not after them. Not after them. So I'm going to do a ground type sandwich, for which I need ham. Oh, this is going to be an easy one if I've got the ingredients. One of each. 2 ham. And 1 prosciutto. And then the bitter and spicy. So the ham should be nice and easy to stack at the bottom with the prosciutto. Prosciutto, 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 ham, 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 pepper, pepper. I really hope I don't mess this up. Pepper, 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 pepper. I tried to drop that quickly so it didn't fall off and no one was knocking them off anyhow. Got it. Right. There we go. So, Toad School. This should work. Might end up getting Toad Scroll instead, but I might be a bit flexible with myself on this. I might just say Evolution Line. So, ideally I will get a Toad School rather than Scroll, but whatever. So, we'll see. But yeah, so as I was saying about that's unfortunate about the tariffs for the US, but hopefully I'll get them overturned. But, so not really much the rest of us can do about that at the moment. So I guess that's a good thing about being in the UK, so we don't have to deal with that. We just have to deal with things like Brexit, which equally poorly thought through and poorly executed. So that's politicians for you. Why are you? I just keep running back and forth around here and seeing what shows up. Oh, that's a bit laggy. So that's another thing with the Switch 2. They're saying about the improved performance of like the Switch 2 edition games, but I'm wondering, would all Switch games get some of that performance improvement if you just played them on a Switch 2? So if you played like this on a Switch 2, would that stop all the lagging? I mean, so is it even worth at that point getting the Switch 2 edition if all you're paying for you get anyhow, pretty much? I mean, the HD stuff and the improved textures and stuff, fine, if you want that, but I don't really think that sort of thing is a big selling point for a whole upgrade pack. This is really laggy. So I don't know how much it's actually going to be worth it. Oh yeah. Did Toad School not spawn in this area? No, they do. Not seeing as many spawns as I would have liked, is the thing. So I'm just missing them. Anyway, yeah, so politicians just don't think things through which, at the moment. So it's just how politics is at the moment. I think there's not much we can really do about that, but that's a whole other conversation. Back to the Switch 2. So games themselves look brilliant. So, or at least for the most part. So Mario Kart World being open world like that seems insane. I never would have expected that, but it actually makes sense. It's a good idea. So having the option to free roam sounds brilliant. So not too sure how the driving from one race to another will actually go, because sometimes you just kind of want a breather after each race, so having to then drive to the next one, I don't really know. Unless it's just sort of a visual gimmick rather than you're actually doing it. So with the endurance, the long distance elimination racing, I actually predicted that. I suspected they would do some sort of long distance sort of endurance style race where you got eliminated as you went, a sort of last man standing style. I actually predicted that when we first got the teaser for it, because I think I saw something that looked like some sort of new power up, and it seemed to be at a gas station, and I saw a lot of details that seemed to be referring to fuel and parts and stuff. So I was wondering, are we actually going to have... It turns out it's not quite what I was thinking, but I was actually surprisingly along the right lines. But I was wondering if we were going to have sort of like some sort of long distance sort of rally style, where we'd have to keep going over a much longer distance and sort of have a last man standing style game mode. And turns out we do. Not quite. I was thinking we might have like fuel and stuff to consider as we went, but turns out we don't. Well, not from what we've seen. But I was actually surprisingly close. So we do have the elimination style races, which look like a lot of fun. So really looking forward to that. So the old Grand Prix are given, so they're not surprising. So how you drive between them, that's going to be a question. But so it would be good if you just got to free roam in between, but so you could sort of stop and have a breather with your friends and on the way from one to the next. But from what they've shown on the directs, it looks like it sort of skips. You sort of drive off, and then it's sort of just a cutscene as you drive up to the next one, which isn't quite what you'd want. But that might be an option in the menu. So it might be just a setting, and they were skipping it just for the direct. Not direct. It was the treehouse. Sorry. They might have just been skipping that for the treehouse live stuff. That might just be an option to automatically warp to the next track. Which, if that's the case, fine. So if you're just wanting to do the races, not wanting to do the free drive, fine. So if you're playing online, doing a Grand Prix, that makes a lot more sense. Not going down that way. But yeah, so just a little bit of a curiosity about that, but otherwise it's still fine either way. But so it looks like a lot of fun. The characters line up. I noticed during one of the Treehouse Live bits that there were 7 tabs on the character select screen, and each page had 12 races on it. That means there could be up to 84 playable characters in the game. It might be something slightly shorter than that. It might be like 76 or something like that, but It'd be somewhere between, what would it be, 72 and 84, I think it works out as, from what it looks like, and that could just be leaving space for other characters to be added as DLC. To be honest, I'm not too sure how they'll do DLC for a game like this. It probably would just be character packs. In an open world, I don't see how they could add new tracks in to this sort of continuous world. So characters they could add and carts. Whole new tracks? Possibly not, unless they added a sort of another island that you have to travel over a bridge to or something like that. So they could have the bridge built to expand the world into a new area where the DLC tracks are. That's possible. They could even do like a warp pipe that you have to drive through to access a new map where these other tracks are. They could do it like that. Can't really say. So it could be that there's just a warp pipe and you enter the warp pipe and you emerge onto the track of this other world. It's just a pipe, literally just a warp pipe. It just warps you to the racetrack rather than having a whole world for it to be in. So it might not be part of the sort of free roam world, but so a pipe popping up in a Mario world, that would fit in perfectly. So that could allow them to add like a Zelda themed track again. Like we had the Hyrule circuit. So they could just go down a warp pipe and emerge into a new Hyrule track. I'm going to go a little bit slow on these because I'm trying to spot if they're in bushes and stuff. Because they're not the best spawn, they just sort of cluster around trees. So I have to check around the trees. I think when I found a shiny around here before, it's been in a bush. I barely spotted it. Anyway. But yeah, so Mario Kart looks fantastic, so definitely getting that on launch. So depending on how I go with Xenoblade Chronicles, so I've worked out, I've done a bit of rough calculations. I worked out that, or I've read online, the main story itself takes about 60 to 70 hours. And I play for about 2.5 hours at a time, on average. I've done a couple one that was longer, a couple that was slightly shorter, but on average, 2.5 hours. So if I can keep that up, I will still be slightly short of 60 hours by the time the Switch 2 comes out. I might be able to get the odd extra stream in from time to time, just to fill in the gaps. It may also be offset by the amount of playtime I've been doing off-stream. So what people would consider the main story, I might end up doing little bits of it off-stream. If they're just like small fetch quests that aren't really worth doing on-stream. So there's a couple of bits I've been doing this past week that are pretty much just fetch quests, but they're mandatory for the story. So if I'm doing these off stream, that's saving me a bit of time, and if I keep doing this, I'm thinking I'm probably going to be fairly close, I think, by the time the Switch 2 comes out, to finishing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, if I keep up this pace. So hopefully it should work out. If I get it done early, I may do a bit of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe gameplay. I might do a bit of that just to get some practice in before the new game. But I'll see. I may do a one-off stream like on a Sunday to do that, if I've got a free Sunday. I won't know what exactly I'm doing until close to the time, so just have to see how things go. But the option's there. So hopefully get Xenoblade Chronicles 3 done. I won't be doing any of the DLC stuff. I don't think I've even purchased the DLC stuff. Um, I may do that at a later date, because there's apparently a prequel story, which, as I'm very interested in the story of the games, I may well want to play through that. But, so this, from what I've seen, trying to avoid spoilers too much, the story of the DLC is actually quite relevant, from the sounds of it, to the overall story. So should be good, but so I just have to wait and see. I always wondering if this is a good reset spot for sandwiches, but trees might get in the way. Considering. Yeah. Yeah, so gameplay-wise, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try concentrating on Xenoblade Chronicles 3 for the next 2 months, I think it will be, just to get that done, so possibly the odd shiny hunt from PAX stream. If anything else special happens, I might... So I'm still hoping for a Tandem Mouse shiny hunt, because I did give that a quick go this past week, and that is not easy. I think it took me about an hour and a half to find one shiny, and that was not good. And that was with me adjusting the screen settings so I could see them more easily. So that's probably not the best. If I can get an outbreak in a good place... So I think part of the problem was I was still having to go slow because I couldn't see their bodies, because they were hidden in grass. So I couldn't make out the bodies properly to see the colours of them, with the grass obscuring them. So I think just going back and forth along here is going to be the strat. But yeah, so not going to be shiny hunting for that on stream for now, but if we get a Tandem Mouse event that boosts the shiny odds, then it will definitely be viable. So I may do that in the end, but I'll just have to wait and see what happens as far as that goes. But I'll be making a start on it off stream, trying to shiny hunt for that once I've say the other Quaxleys first. So once I've got the Quaxley, I'll then head on to the Tandem Mouse and try the process of going for the 1 in 100 of that. So that's gonna be a pain. So I'll just have to see how that goes. It'll be annoying if, like, when I finally do get one, the next week they announce an event, which has happened before. They've done that. I've bred for things, and then like the next week they've then announced an event for it, which was annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, so yeah, so definitely getting Mario Kart on launch. I didn't actually check what games are actually out on launch for the Switch 2. I think it's mostly just third-party stuff, and to be honest, most of the third-party stuff, although I think it's great that they're bringing them out on the Switch 2, most of them are games that are already out on other consoles and stuff, or on PC, and if I wanted to play them, I would probably have already got them on PC. So getting them on the Switch 2, not that fussed about. So as far as games that I'm going to be getting on Switch 2 go, it's probably just going to be Mario Kart at first. Probably Donkey Kong when it comes out, because that's not until a little bit later. This is fine. So I'll probably get Donkey Kong. That seems like a bit of fun. So that might be another one to stream. So I might do like multiplayer Mondays and Donkey Kong Wednesdays or something like that. But yeah, so then it will just be a case of like Metroid, Pokémon. Professor Layton I'll probably get when that comes out, so I'm looking forward to that. So the other third-party stuff, not too fussed about. So I'd be interested in a few of them, but if I was interested enough, I would probably already got them. So I might get them. They're the sort of games that I might get if I saw them on discount for really cheap, which is what I usually do with Steam sales. But without that, I'm probably just going to leave it. So just concentrating on Mario Kart for now. So budget-wise, I've also got that to think about. So I'm not working to keep money in. So I've got a bit of flexibility with my spending, but not that much. So I can't just buy every game that comes out to play it for 5 minutes and be done with it, which may happen with certain games, and has happened before. There are games that I've bought wanting to play and then just not really got into playing them. I'd start playing them and end up finding myself bored very quickly, which, to be honest, one of those games a lot of people were probably going to criticise me for, but Skyrim. I got Skyrim on the Switch when it released, so this is a similar sort of thing that happened. So I got Skyrim because I heard good things, wanted to try it, played it, fun game, but I just got bored of it. It's just I got myself in. I found myself being attacked by some sort of bounty hunter very early on, and I couldn't go more than like 5 minutes without just being attacked by these high-level bounty hunters and dying. So I was really struggling to progress through the game, and I think I got a bit fed up with it and just stopped because of it, which was probably my own doing, but so it was a bit of an obstacle, and just that, if just me playing normally ended up getting myself stuck in a situation like that, if that's going to keep happening, do I want to keep playing it? So I basically just gave up and haven't really played it since, which is a shame. So I'm pretty sure I would enjoy it if I played it more. So I'm pretty sure I was just being very thorough in my exploration, stumbled across a location, got attacked, killed the person. Probably shouldn't have been able to kill the person, probably got lucky, and at least at that level, and then got a bounty put on my head and just could not progress without difficulty. So it was annoying, but yeah, so I'm just concerned that if I get one of these third-party games that I don't desperately want to play, then I'm probably the same thing will probably happen. I'll probably start playing it, just not really get into it properly, and just sort of forget about it. So games like Xenoblade, completely opposite. As soon as I start playing them, I don't want to stop. So I've been doing a lot of gameplay on that in this past week. After I got into a very good position for doing side quests and stuff at the end of last stream, and I've been doing a lot. I'll show that properly on Wednesday, but I have covered a lot of ground, done quite a few other bits and pieces unlock things that I was a bit dubious whether or not I was supposed to unlock them straight away, or whether they were sort of main story things, but I think I've come to the conclusion that it's optional stuff that I've been doing, which is a relief. So a couple of things were sort of story related, but just little things that I've just been getting out of the way. So saving time on stream, so hopefully I'll be able to actually progress through quick enough to complete it before the Switch 2. But anyway. Yeah, so as far as the other games that are coming out go, so the Welcome Tour tech demo thing, that seems like a fun game in concept, but it's paid. You have to pay for it, and that's the problem. It's like, why are they making you pay for a game that clearly, I'm nowhere near that, that clearly should be free? It's like Wii Sports, essentially. It's the same, it's like the equivalent of that. And Wii Sports, at least in the UK, was included with the console. So why do they not just do that? So, okay, maybe if they done it like as a, even if they wanted to charge for it, just do it as a, maybe just give it away for free, like for the first like couple of months, so that the early adopters can play it, and then charge a small fee for it afterwards. So definitely don't charge a large fee for it, because there is definitely not enough of an actual game there. But I don't want to pay for a game that is just a tech demo. It's like, that's the sort of thing you'd get on a demo disc back in the day. So it's like, it's bizarre that they've said that they're charging for it. So, as it stands, probably looks like I won't be getting that, even though I'd kind of like to do some of the mini games to test out the controls, which is dumb. It's just they're putting people off playing the game just because they're charging for it. Just package it in. Just they're not gonna have. No one's gonna be playing that game unless it's for a joke. I think it's just to make fun of it for being a paid-for game, essentially. So that's just not great. Similar sort of thing with Drag X Drive as well. It's wheelchair basketball. That is literally like a Wii Sports game. Just one of the mini games in a Wii Sports game. And yet it's its own game. I mean, if it's a cheap enough price, fine. But if it's like the price of a full-blown game, that's not worth it. It's like, the idea of a wheelchair basketball game is great, but it's not enough for a full-priced game. Again, it's a tech demo, and okay, it's a bit more of a developed tech demo in that it's a actual playable game, but that's what Wii Sports was. Wii Sports was a whole load of literally sports, as wheelchair basketball is, just in a bundle that was free. I mean, the later Wii Sports weren't, but still, if you want people to play them, just bundle them together. If they done it as a paid game, Drag X Drive would be great if it was like part of a bundle of like 4 or 5 different sports. Then a bundle with that in would be fine. But on its own, if it's a full price game, not worth it. It's just not enough of a game. It's just bizarre that they're doing it. So I don't just no. So, but yeah. So the tech demos, as much as I'd kind of like to give them a go, I kind of hope they do. At least Drag X Drive do a demo or like a free weekend or something like that at some point, just so you can actually try the game out. But it just doesn't look like it's worth it for either of them, and it's really a letdown if they do charge too much for them. I mean, charging at all for the Welcome Tour is already a rip-off. But Drag X Drive I could pay for, or could see people paying for. I probably won't get it because I'm not that into sports games. So I might give it a go as a demo or something like that. But as a freestanding game, just it would need to be cheap, very cheap, and not a full-blown game. That's all that there is to it. Yeah. So what else was there? That's those. So Donkey Kong, I will probably be getting. I'll probably get that. I was a bit unsure about it when they first announced it because I'm not that into a lot of the Donkey Kong games, but having seen the Treehouse stuff for it, seems a lot better. It's like Donkey Kong Odyssey. They could quite easily have called it, and I would have bought it. It was like, yeah, okay, I want another Odyssey-style game. Okay, it's got Donkey Kong instead of Mario, and he controls differently, and like the base, a lot of the mechanics are sort of different with the whole destruction stuff. That's fine, but just market it as like something sort of related to Mario Odyssey, and I would buy it. If it was sort of in the same vein of Mario Odyssey, if they just said that from the start, I'd just definitely have got that. So, open world Donkey Kong game like Mario Odyssey, done. But the way they first introduced it, I was a bit, it's a Donkey Kong game, not that into Donkey Kong games. But as it turns out, looks good. Looks like a lot of fun. People are complaining about the new design of Donkey Kong, about his more animated expressions. I quite like that. So it's kind of cartoony, but it's still quite easily recognisable as Donkey Kong. Where are you going? So it's allowed him to be more expressive with his facial animations, which is great. That's some fun details you can get in there, and I've seen some of the expressions he does. They look great. They look funny. They do the job. So quite like that. I am wishing I could find a shiny one of these in the next 20 seconds. Wondering if this might not have been the best choice. But anyway, Donkey Kong looks good. Yeah, all the other stuff spawning now. So I'll probably be getting that when it comes out. So that's another one to add to the list. I don't actually know at what point I last saved. I know I saved after catching the last one, but as that one didn't get a shiny. Oh, I'm actually getting tight on time. That's annoying. Do I go for one of the others? I might not get into the third pack. That's annoying. That's going to be a little bit disappointing. So I've got half an hour left. So that's basically one more sandwich. I think my changeover's been a bit slow because I've been sorting all the pictures out. But I've got one, so that's something. If I don't get this by the end, I'll probably just open the last pack just to see what my chance would have been. This was just for a bit of fun, just as a sort of filler. Yeah, I saved when I was still over here. You know what, I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stay on the hunt I was doing before. Right. No, not that one. Not that one. There we go. I was trying I had too many games lately. Different buttons for different things. Right, get on back over here. Wasting a bit of time. Anyway, yeah, so Donkey Kong Bonanza. Looks good. So I might probably pick that up. What else was there? Kirby Air Riders don't really... That seems a bit redundant with Mario Kart. Because it... As far as... I've never played the last Air Riders, or Air Rider game. So I've only sort of seen... So what has been sort of... Just clips online of it. And... sorry. With Mario Kart coming to the Switch 2, it seems a bit pointless. So I don't really see why they're doing another racing game on the Switch 2 straight away. From what I understand, it's got some popularity to it, so people are excited for it, but I will probably be giving that a miss, because I just don't see the point in it. 2 ham and a prosciutto. Spicy. Yeah, so Kirby Air is a bit disappointing. Hyrule Warriors. After they announced the both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom would be getting Switch 2 editions, I was rather hesitant because I don't really see the point, considering they've been out for so long already. I mean, newer games getting Switch 2 editions, I think makes sense, because you can get them on either console then. Older games getting sort of upgrades for the Switch 2, okay, but how much are you actually getting in these upgrades? So it's graphics upgrades, okay. What else is actually there to sell you on these games? I mean, other than new players who haven't played the games before, most people who already have the games have already completed them. Are new graphics enough for them to pick it up and play it again? Possibly not. So the appeal of actually getting the expansion packs, the Switch 2 edition expansion packs for Switch 1 games, I thought was questionable. And when they started the trailer for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, I was thinking, oh, is this going to be a DLC that's going to be added to Tears of the Kingdom as part of this expansion pack? So I got quite excited when I first saw it. And then I realised it was a Warriors game. And I was very disappointed. I've played both of the previous Hyrule Warriors games. I've got both of them. They are, again, games that I would play for a bit and just kind of get bored of. Oops. I would get bored of them very quickly. So, getting the expansion pass seems a bit pointless. Oh, not an expansion pass. Just doing another Warriors game just doesn't appeal to me. So the first game I played quite a bit, but got to the point where I started having to grind really heavily to try and level up some of the characters in order to do some of the challenges. And I just got bored because I didn't enjoy using those characters, and it was forcing me to use those characters. And some of the challenges were pretty hard if you're just sort of playing for fun. If you get into it deeply, okay, fine, you'd probably end up doing them as you go, but it wasn't for me. And the fact that I couldn't progress beyond a certain point without sort of putting a lot of effort in, I just wanted a hack and slash that I could just run around and just hack and slash in. But having to actually put effort in to upgrade everything and get good with every character, I just got bored of it after a while. So I played it for quite a bit. Then when the second one came out, I was like, okay, I'm going to give this one a shot. Bought it, started playing it. it was okay, but I was very quickly starting to get the same feeling that I got with the first one, where there were characters that I just didn't want to use, and I was being forced to use them. And again, very quickly, so probably quicker than with the first game, I just started to lose interest in it, and very quickly I just swapped over to playing something else and just didn't look back. And it's really disappointing because I would have liked to have played through it properly and get all the story off it, but just the actual gameplay, I just didn't find it as enjoyable as I was hoping I would. So it's a Warriors game. So I played other Warriors styles games, and in those games it was a lot more flexible to play through. I mean, you still had to do it with certain characters, but I think more of the characters were simpler just to pick up and use hack and slash wise. You didn't have to do too much work to learn the different characters because of the nature of just hack and slash. But in the Hyrule Warriors games, some of the characters are very different from one another, with all their different weapons and abilities and stuff. So they play very differently, and it's not even like it's like an archetype of this type of character that you have to learn. And then you can once you learn one character of that type, you can basically fairly easily pick up the rest. Hyrule Warriors wasn't like that because every character was very different, apart from like obvious ones that were obviously going to be similar. So many of them were just completely different, and it just got tedious. And I would love to play through a game in that era, that era of Hyrule, but I would want it to be as a regular Zelda game. I mean, I thought when they first showed Zelda, oh brilliant, we're getting her perspective, or what was going on for her, we're going to play through in a DLC. Like, I thought, like Echoes of Wisdom, playing as Zelda, then going back to Tears of the Kingdom to play as Zelda in that again, that would have been so good. But they're doing it as a Warriors game, and it's just like, oh, it was so close to being good. So I was really disappointed by that trailer. It just got my hopes up and then just shout on them, basically. I know some people like the Hyrule Warriors games, but I would just by far have preferred it as just a regular Zelda game. It's just such a shame. But it is what it is. So not much I can really do about it now. So, do I try a picnic reset? So there's quite a good amount around here. Would this be quicker? More consistent? Alright, let's find out. But yeah, so Hyrule Warriors, bit of a letdown. So, just sort of going back slightly to the Switch 2 editions, I need more info on how they are actually going to work and be released, I guess. So with the older games getting them, okay, fair enough. It's just going to be a sort of download just to get these extra features added into the game. If you've got the game card or a digital version already, that's fine. But what about like Metroid and Pokemon, where you want to play them, you want to get them on the Switch 2 to get all the new features, which they haven't fully detailed, all the features of the ZA version, ZA Switch edition, Switch 2 edition. Probably because they're still announcing all the details of the game. But how much is actually going to be worth it to get the additional features if it's just graphics? The Metroid is getting the controls, and I will get Metroid purely for the controls. I'll definitely get the Switch 2 edition just for the controls for that, because the idea of using the mice cons is fantastic for Metroid. Pokémon, if it's just graphics, how much is it actually going to be worth it? How sort of load time and stuff, and actual performance-wise, how much of an improvement will you get just playing the base game on the Switch 2? So, how much will it actually be worth it to get the pack? How much will the pack be? So, if it's really expensive to just upgrade, do you just not bother and just get the base game? Just get the Switch game? So if there's nothing really worth getting the Switch 2 edition for, why bother? If they'd done it where the Switch 2 edition came free, or at a reduced price for getting it in the bundle with it, more reasonable, definitely. But there's also the thing, if you buy the Switch 2 edition from the start, does that mean you actually have the Switch game, Switch 1 game, as part of that and could play it on the Switch? Or would you be locked to only playing it on the Switch 2? They haven't really detailed that sort of thing. I'm just going to go back to Roman. So there's still questions to be answered about that, but I don't think they've really had the chance to answer those questions because of all the complaints about price, to be honest. So I think that's something to come later. So I'm quite happy to wait for that. Say it's only relevant to Metroid and Pokemon at the moment, and they're not coming out for a while, so we've got time to hear more about that. So the other ones, the Zelda Notes thing, that's just pointless if you've already played the game, because you've already got everything. You get a few extra voice lines, and it's like, okay, that's it. Graphics, I've already played the game, I don't really care about the graphics at this point. Navigation, that's a shiny Fortress, that's not what I was looking for. Well, it's a shiny. It is a shiny. So I'm going to get it. Oh, this could use explosion. I just want to check that, because Fortress might use explosion any second, and I don't think I saved. Oh, stupid thing. Just clicking on. Where is it there? It is level 53. It will know... It knows explosion! I'm just going to Ultra Ball it. Oh no. Okay, it's not using explosion yet. No, I'm going to run and just save. Just to make sure I saved it, because I don't know if I saved it then. Okay, come back here. Okay, now I'm a bit safer. I'm just going to quick ball it. Where's my quick balls? I should have done this to begin with. I don't like using quick balls, but I don't really need this for collection, so I don't need it in the special ball. So, looks like I've actually got a bit of extra time. So, just been told dinner's going to be 15 minutes late, so I've got a bit of extra time. So I've got another half an hour, rather than 50 minutes as I thought I had. That's a shiny. I am debating just going on to the next pack. Fortress wasn't in that pack, unfortunately. But That was a shiny. Annoyingly, not a ground type, so that wasn't actually boosted by the sandwich. Which is dumb. But it's because I was so close to the water, they're spawning in the water. Anyway. We're just running back and forth on this edge work. Might do. Yeah, where was I? What was I talking about last? Yeah, the Switch 2 editions. So the Mario Party, they're adding like the camera stuff, and that just looks just like bad gimmicks. I mean, the mice con's fine, but the camera looks terrible. I don't have Mario Party Jamboree anyhow, so it doesn't really make much difference to me. But ooh, where'd you come from? But yeah, I'm not too sure if they're really worth it a lot of the time. So the Zelda notes just doesn't seem worth it. So if it's just graphics upgrades, just doesn't seem worth it. And a lot of the other features just, it's going to depend on the price. If they're a reasonable price to get the upgrades, they will be fine. But if they charge too much, it is just not going to be worth it. And I'm just going to stick with the regular Switch versions. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, yeah, so I think I've probably covered most things that I was going to talk about with the Switch 2 now. So in general, looks fantastic. So sort of a, I'm going to be basically considering Metroid Prime to be a Switch 2 game for the time being, rather than a Switch game, just because of the controls, because I will definitely want to play it with the mice-con controls. Just hands down, definitely the way to go. So I'm not a big fan of control stick aiming. So getting that option is just a no-brainer. Getting the option for the mice cons is a no-brainer. So that's a definite. ZA, unfortunately, at the moment, I'm going to still be considering it a Switch game. Because just don't know what it's actually going to add. So if it works out at a decent price, I would probably still get the Switch 2 edition, especially if they do it in a bundle when on release, to get the Switch 2 edition over the regular Switch edition. So I think that would make it better, but so if it's like just like maybe £10 more for the Switch 2 edition, probably okay. If it's more than that, so it's again gonna be, what are they doing with the pricing? So I'm hoping a bundle would make. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 20 quid for the expansion pack normally, or get it with the game itself for like a tenner more than the base game. I think that would make a lot more sense price-wise, and would be very reasonable. But I was going to fly. I thought I was doing cover from that. But yeah, it is just going to be a very big question mark there going forward. Either way, it's going to be worth it to get the Switch 2 just for Mario Kart, and then Donkey Kong. That looks like a lot of fun as well. So that's 2 games for me to get, sort of close to release. So probably won't be getting any third-party stuff So a lot of it's already on other consoles and PC and stuff, so I could get it if I wanted it already. If I haven't, then I probably just don't want it enough. And I wouldn't have any reason to get it on the Switch. Or Switch 2. So, especially if they're going to charge like full price for it when it's already getting to be a bit of an old game, which quite often happens. So, pass on that. But I'll have plenty of stuff to do with Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, so they will definitely keep me busy. And then Metroid after that. And then, well, ideally Metroid will come next after that, based on what they've said, because they're still saying 2025, not holiday 2025 or anything, so fingers crossed it should still be out this year. But when is the question. Might end up with Metroid and Pokémon both releasing at Christmas, or in the holiday season, but they haven't actually said holiday 2025 yet, so can't say for sure. Anyway, so good sort of line up to progress with. So hopefully Mario Kart I'll be able to find some people to play online with, so maybe with some viewers. So I might do a little post on the YouTube Shorts or something to sort of invite people to race me online. This little advertising thing. I noticed last week, and I uploaded the Shiny 3-segment to Dunsparce. That got a huge number of views compared to all my other shorts I've put up. I haven't put up many shorts, but that got a lot more of a response than I'm used to with the shorts. So if I just do something like that with just a I'm going to be playing Mario Kart next week on stream, come and play with me sort of post. Or open to challenges sort of thing. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. So I should hopefully be getting the Switch 2 on release, if I manage to order it from Nintendo, which I should have no problem doing considering I got the email. So that should ideally be here on the Thursday. So I'll be able to have the weekend to get it set up and everything. So I might put out a quick YouTube short on the Saturday or Sunday, sort of advertising for my Monday stream, which will be my first one with the Switch 2. So I shouldn't have any problem streaming the Switch 2, considering it should just be... I actually have already sent the sockets, so it's just an HDMI connection. How? It was on the other side of the tree. Okay. Yeah, so it shouldn't be a problem to get it set up. So I'll have a bit of a warm up on Mario Kart over the weekend. So I'll probably record a little bit of it and use it as in the short. It's left on this. If I don't get a Toad School from this sandwich, I may just open the next pack and have a quick go at the next one. But yeah, so maybe I shouldn't have picked Toad School, but I was thinking this would be the easiest one to isolate, which it is mostly isolated, it's just not great for spotting because it's underneath the trees. Try to pick up the pace of it, but the spawn-in speed is not great, plus they're spawning like up here, and I'm getting a few fortresses spawn and one or two odd other bits, but it was worth a shot. So I did get a shiny, so not a complete failure. A bit of a disappointing stream though, so I only got the 2 shinies and one of them wasn't even the one I was after, so It'll be funny if I open the other pack and it's got a fortress in it. I don't know if fortress is in the set, but it would be funny. I'm just having to sort of zigzag a bit, try and check behind all the trees. And all the bushes like that. Maybe this wasn't the best one to go for. Anyway, this is just a fun one, just to end my current shiny hunts on stream. So I don't actually know when the next set's out, so it might not be until after the Switch 2's out that the next Pokemon set comes out. So I just picked up 3 packs from my local game shop a couple of weeks back and thought, oh yeah, I'll save them and open them for a shiny hunt. And doing it today was perfect timing because I was sort of working out what I'm going to be doing going forward. Just to finish off my shiny hunt seemed to make sense. So I was kind of hoping to at least get Quaxley out of the way so I could sort of show off like the mostly complete just tandem mouse hold missing from Scarlet and Violet. So every other Pokemon Scarlet and Violet I've got shiny, apart from the second Quaxley for the living dex and the other form of Mousehold. But Mousehold is going to be a challenge, to say the least. So that's going to take me some time. Quaxley I was hoping to get. I've done so many batches of eggs for Quaxley and I'm just not getting them shiny. I've got 1. It's like I must be getting to the point where I'm hitting odds. I might be over odds at this point. But annoyingly, I got all the others fairly quickly, so it's probably balancing out in the long run. So I would have preferred the others took a little bit longer if it meant I got this one quicker. But it is what it is. Why can they not all just pop in like that? So I know Toadscore is just a bright white sort of colour. It's just very easy to spot. I thought it'd be nice and easy, nice and quick. It is not. It is being a pain in the ass. So I end up getting a fortress from this hunt instead, which... Okay, it's a shiny, but wasn't what I was hunting for in the slightest. So it's not ground type. Why did that end up being shiny? The odds of the shiny popping up on that must be ridiculously low, and it's just 5 minutes. And then I'll have like 15 minutes to... I'll probably crack the last pack, try that, see it. I might be able to do a double hunt, see if I can get... try for something from both of these packs. But I was hoping this would go a bit quicker, but shiny hunts are shiny hunts. I think I probably used up all my shiny luck on last week's stream, getting the Dunsparce. I just want to kill that just because it's annoying me. If it's a fixed spawn, I'm hoping it doesn't respawn straight away. But yeah, so Switch 2 looking good, so pre-order tomorrow, as long as everything goes smoothly. So it should be a bit of fun. The only issue I've got is that I want to get a case for it. I don't know if the Nintendo UK store has the cases. I've seen that they're on the US store. Might be a little bit pricey, but the official ones are usually pretty good quality, so it's not a shiny, no, it's just in the sunlight. So I usually get the official case. So I like the hard cases. I originally got a soft case, and that was not enough to protect the console. I think it probably wore out. I think one of the control stick issues was that it kept getting worn out by being knocked in my bag. Because I take my Switch with me when I go to my local card shop to play Magic on a Thursday or Friday. I stick it in my bag and give it a bit of a play to spend a bit of time before the event starts. A lot of people don't turn up until the last minute, so I'm just sort of... I go in early so I can get food and stuff, then end up with like half hour to an hour, just nothing to do, and people haven't turned up yet, so I crack out the Switch and play that for a bit. So I'd like to do that with the Switch too. So if other people get the Switch too, crack on Mario Kart and playing some Mario Kart while we wait, but yeah, I'll need a case for it. So the official ones, they usually do a case and a screen protector, which is always handy. So I'm hoping to get something like that. But so the UK site doesn't have that listed at the moment. So they don't have... It might be that they add it like this week as one of the options when the pre-orders go live, which will be fine, but if not, I'll have to look elsewhere for something like that. So I usually come case and screen protector, so try and get that. Some of the other ones, I've sort of seen ones that people have posted onto like Amazon so far, and it's like, well, they'll probably do the trick, but I don't really like the designs. So it's like some of them look a bit cheap, and it's like, how well is that actually going to protect? And some look like they're not really that well designed for the Switch 2. It's like it's very sort of empty, not sort of padding inside, just sort of space, so it could slide around a bit. But 50 seconds doesn't. I can get a shiny from this pack. But yeah, not the best looking cases that I've seen. So I'd rather spend a bit more to get an official one that's really well designed. So the one I've got for my OLED Switch is a really nicely designed one. It's an official one. It's got all the grooves and everything to hold everything in place comfortably. And you just look at it and it's like, okay, the Switch will definitely be safe in that. But these other ones, I'm sort of looking at them and it's like, I would be worried about putting my Switch in that. Or my Switch 2 at least. So it's... So hopefully I can get a decent one. But that's that sandwich over. Well, that's... Looks like that's a fail for the Toad School, so I'll just save that because I did catch one shiny. I'm just going to quickly open the third pack and try and catch something in 15 minutes. So let's see what we got. Okay, we've got Ensdaromaka, a Noibat, a Lowland Geodude, Lotad, Redeemable Ticket, which I cannot search for, Combusken, a Lowland Golem, Metapod, Larvesta, and Ludicolo. Right, so we've basically got a couple of overlaps here, because we've got Lotad and Ludicolo, and Geodude and Golem. So I'm thinking I go for... I think I'm going to go for Geodude. If I'm right, I think I know where I can get them quite easily. So grab the camera. Right. Just hit the wrong button completely on the phone. Grab a picture of them. Stupid phone hadn't rotated on camera. Give me a sec. No. Right, so yeah, I'll be getting this. So I think I'm heading to the Central Plaza. If I remember correctly, these are available right near the pop-ups as I'm going. Right near the plaza, so if I can reset from here. Try and find them in the decks. This hurts my eyes, but I can spot them anyhow. Yeah, so they're located right outside here. So I've hunted here before now, and I've got them fairly quick straight away due to showing up. If I... Do I have something that could overlap with one of these? Fortunately, not really. Maybe electric. I'm going to do an electric sandwich. What electric sandwich have I have? Have I got? Okay. So, electric sandwich, I need onion, 2 yellow pepper, red pepper, green pepper. That's the last of my yellow peppers. So. Prosciutto, then bitter and spicy. That's that correct? I'll quickly make this sandwich as I swap the image over. Okay, that didn't seem to work properly, did it? Don't do that, you stupid idiot. I'll do this fairly quick. I hate when they start to shift through the sandwich. Right. Is that gonna... Why is this not... Oh, I didn't... Okay. Yeah. Right, so this is going to be a very quick hunt. See if I can get this in less than 10 minutes. About 10 minutes. I've got about 10 minutes. But my thinking with doing it electric type is that Watchroll was in the list as well. It was in my last pack as well. So if I could then go back and get Watchroll, which would be a bit of a tricky one, that should work. But I know I can do this with a town reset. Might get a Graveler instead, but Graveler will be fine. Evolution line. gonna have to keep going back and forth, hoping one shows up. He should be fairly easy to spot. He's bright orange in colour, so. Nice quick resets. This is some of the easiest resetting, so quicker than Picnic and quicker than just running around. So, let's see if I can get a shiny from it. I didn't get anything amazing in these packs, unfortunately, so the rest of them was not bad, but no alt arts or anything, so I have gotten quite lucky with packs before now, and I've opened like 3 packs and got one of the art cards. So, but my local game shop is completely sold out, so they keep having people come up or phone up the shop to ask if they've got any Pokemon cards, and it's like, no. They've done a rearrange of their card shelves this past weekend, and the Pokemon section is completely empty. So it's popular in there. So it's actually funny when they first started getting Pokemon cards again, because they stopped for quite a while. But when they first started getting them, they were in a different place and weren't getting much interest in Pokemon at the time. I was one of the only ones who was actually going in and buying them. So it's like every week I was getting like a couple of packs. I think that was Sword and Shield era. Was it Sword and Shield era? Must have been before Scarlet and Violet came out back then. But I was going for the card decks at the time and trying to get all the Pokemon from the generation. I was getting a lot of packs, so but I was buying up most of their packs in the end. So they were very close to stopping doing Pokemon cards, but as soon as they moved to the new shop, they're selling out. They're struggling to keep the stock in. So and they just can't get any more. They're getting as much as they can from their supplier, but it's just not enough to meet the demand. So they're only a small shop, really. They're not part of a big chain. It's Langdon Games, if anyone's interested. So you can find them online. They've got an online shop. And they ship. I think they do ship internationally, but they ship to the UK. They were doing a local drop-off service at one point, but I think that was mostly just during lockdown. I think they stopped that. So you can do in-store pickup as well, so if you want to pre-order something and just pick it up in person, you can do that as well. So it's a nice service. They also do a sort of cashback credit deal, so for every £1 you spend you get like 1p back or something like that. It's only small, but if you're in there a lot and you're making a lot of purchases or big purchases, you can save up quite a bit of money. So also take store credit from the events I do on Fridays, or Thursdays and Fridays sometimes, because instead of taking packs, if they don't have the packs I want of Magic, I'll save up the money and maybe get a collector booster pack of Magic at some point. But I would have done that this week with the new set, but they were sold out. They've completely sold out of the new set. So it's not a bad set. I was about to say not a decent set. It's not a bad set. It is a decent set. But don't know how much of an impact it will actually have on standard is the problem. I think it's more of a Commander popular set. It's with the 3 coloured dragons and everything. I think they're very popular with Commander players. Sealed wise, it's great. It's quite a lot of fun. So I played in 2 pre-releases. I came 10th out of 20... No, I came 20th out of 32 2 on Friday, and I went 2-2. 1-2, lost 2. And the only reason I wasn't higher was because my opponents didn't win many games, so it was unfortunate. And then yesterday I played again, and I came 8th out of 21. So not as many people, but I done a bit better. But annoyingly, I only lost to the people who came 1st and 2nd, and yet I was still down in 8th. And that was again because my opponents didn't win as many, so the ones I beat didn't win as many games, which is disappointing. So, considering that as a Geodude, well, that's one shiny. No, that's just in time, so that's the 3rd shiny, so that's not too bad. Come here. This probably has explosion, doesn't it? 65. Yep! Quick ball. Perfect. Not for the asking about with that. Well, that's that. So, do I quickly go back? Got a couple of minutes. Where do I want to go for hunting for these? Where's a good spot? Let's try. I think this is a spot. This is going to be a long shot. Start looking up where a good isolation spot for these are. Which could be a bit of an issue. Let's see if I can get the... Looks like this corner's the spot for them. There. And I'm being nagged early, so that's a good start. I cannot spot if they're shiny or not. Wait, is that a shiny? Where was it? Oh, it might have just been lighting. I am now being nagged for dinner, so... Trying to squint to see if I can spot one that looks different. Just trying to spot the black that looks off black. When they're grouped up, it's probably not that hard to spot, but I may be missing them and not know it. Gonna try and buy a bit more time. They're never ready on time when they actually say they are. If I can get Wattrel. I keep seeing what looks like a different colour, but I think it's just the lighting. I'm trying to spot them in this crowd as... as they're just finishing off a sandwich and they eat quickly. So I don't think I realise what sandwich I'm talking about. That's the thing. Just gonna try and buy a bit of extra time. Oh, wait, quickly swap that over. Ooh. I do not know if I will actually be able to spot them, is the issue. I'm hoping I just see one. Oh, that's shiny. But no. Don't know if that will work. I'll pull up what Wattrel looks like shiny again. So it is just an off colour. So that's going to be very hard to spot. So this is very much a long shot. I'm hoping being in the crowd it makes them easier to spot. So I should have been downstairs already to dinner, but I do want to try and get one from each booster pack. And if this does work, it'd be a good way to end. But I have... I'm pushing myself, pushing my luck a bit. So I'd go for a killer Wattrel at this point. But yeah, they are never ready for dinner on time, so even when they say they are, they're not. Jumped the gun a bit there, but whatever. I was just looking for one that sticks out. I'm usually good at spotting them when they stick out in a group, but this is a hard one. Doesn't help that the lighting is tweaking their colour as the sun's setting. So the Geodude came very quickly, so I'm hoping this one comes quickly as well with the town reset. But it's sort of a purplish colour rather than the black. Good thing is they're spawning in groups, so or mostly. So hoping that will make it easier to spot when it does show up, but can't guarantee it. I may be missing them, is the problem. If I can't actually identify the colour properly, or can't spot the colour in the group, I'm not going to spot them. I slipped. I'm leaning forward to my TV to try and see it colours better, but So it's going to night time now, so I'm hoping that makes it a little bit easier. Spawn up top. There's layers. Oh. A little bit uncomfortable at the moment. So pulled something in my sort of back by my shoulder blade. So I move too quickly, I get a stabbing pain in my back. So. A little bit why I was a bit late starting today. They're just appearing and just instantly despawning themselves. Not great. Come on. Oh, yeah. I'm really pushing my luck here. So I'm going to be moaned at for not coming down soon, so... I'm hoping just to finish off this with one more. So it was a bit of a challenge, so I wasn't sure if I'd even get two, which I did, but annoyingly Toad School did not work out. And Fortress turned up instead, which pain in the butt. But it is what it is. Right. Try and do this a bit quicker. I think the quicker I do it, the quicker the shiny will show up. So when Kilowatt will show up instead, not as good. The more Watch will show up, the better. When they just take off straight away and disappear, that's annoying. Because I don't get a chance to properly look at whether or not they're shiny. So when they spawn in the air like that, which I'm missing. So I'm definitely clearing through the spawns quickly, but the question is whether or not I'm actually able to spot a shiny when it appears. But I'm going to keep this going as long as I can before I get moaned at to go down. So just try and finish it off. So this is my last shiny hunt for the time being. So be doing Xenoblade Chronicles for the next couple of months until the Switch 2 comes out, then switch over to Mario Kart and then Donkey Kong when that comes out. Ideally. So I may do the odd shiny hunt stream in between if something worthwhile comes up. So I may do a little video or post just showing where I'm at. But for now, I don't really have much left to shiny hunt for. So this pack was just something I wanted to try. Pack hunt thing, just something I wanted to try. So didn't know how well it would work. It's not done too bad. So sort of going into this blind, I was having to figure out where to shiny hunt for everything as I went, so... Oh, and they spawn up top. Yeah, spot the feet as well if they're above me. But doesn't look like I'm going to get lucky on this one, or I will just get cooled down. But anyway, I'll be back on Xenoblade Chronicles this Wednesday, and continuing Mondays and Wednesdays going forward until the Switch 2 comes out. So if you want to check that out, you can see that there. All my previous shiny hunts will be up on YouTube, along with this once I get it uploaded tonight. So I might do the odd extra stream here and there, but I'll basically update at some point when my situation changes. So this is all assuming I'm still not working, which currently doesn't look likely because the industry is a mess. And general work is very difficult to find at the moment if you've not experienced in a certain field. So, unfortunately, the field I'm experienced in has very little work going right now. Which isn't great for me. But yeah, so just streaming until things change. Just as something to do. But yeah, so a little bit late starting today as well because of feeling tired after the long weekend, busy weekend at least. I keep seeing one on its own and questioning, is that shiny? I may just be missing shinies here. I do not know. I would like to think I could spot the shiny. But I just don't know. Knowing how so many of my streams end up with me just trying to squeeze out one last shiny like this. Which... so that's just the time restrictions I have on streams, so I have to work around the family, and if I don't get started early, then end up overrunning like this, but... has this ended yet? Oh, I'm really pushing my luck. I was a bit late starting the sandwich. Which is unfortunate. Would have been nice if I did get the last shiny from the pack, but I did at least get 3 shinies from today's stream, so 3 packs, 3 shinies. So it does still kind of work out, I guess. But not the best. I'd love to want to spot pop up and just me to go, that's a shiny. But I really don't trust myself with these, because 1, they move around a hell of a lot, and 2, the shiny isn't that great to spot in general. I think when I have spotted them before, because I've obviously caught them shiny before, it has been a case of, that's a shiny, just straight away, bang. So, I haven't shot it, obviously, it's just figure of speech, but I've spotted the fact that it's a shiny immediately on seeing it. But this one doesn't look like it's going to show, unfortunately. Hoping the night time makes it show up clearer, but so it's sort of, is it purpley or is it like orange tint to it? I can't really tell just looking at my screen. Oh, and I've fallen off the cliff again. So my shoulder, sort of back and shoulder being in pain has slowed me down a bit today. And didn't get... That's shiny, that's shiny, that's shiny, that's shiny. Straight away I could say it. No, I need to get to it. I need to get to it. Is that it? There we go. That wasn't actually the best animation there because it was stuck in the cliff, so I'm going to try that again. Oh yeah! I am going to try Premier Balling this. So, this is actually one shiny from each pack, so, and we've caught it. So that is actually what I tried to do achieved. So, overrun a little bit, but not too bad. So, got it, done, achieved. So, all good. Right, I'm going to call it there because I need to go down for dinner. So, thanks for watching. I'll be live again on Wednesday, playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and continuing that until the Switch 2 comes out. So, when the Switch 2 comes out, I'll be playing Mario Kart. So, thanks for watching. This will be up on YouTube shortly. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out my Twitch. So there'll be links for both, wherever, so you'll be able to find me no problem. So thanks again, and I'll see you around.